Blog Talk Radio.
If you're just tuning in, you're live right here on Tuesdays on Endie Fiya with your girl Nakia. I am super excited. Okay, let me back up. I'm always super excited, right? On Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays around this time, right? But let me tell you why I'm super excited today. Let me back up again. All right, so the intro music is coming. We're getting closer and closer to the intro music. But as I told you on Saturday, that right there was Smooth Criminal, produced by Metal to Music CEO Franz the Hybrid One. And each time I hear it, I get more excited because not because it was supposed to go on my album, but because like I'm actually thinking like we should really like put that in the show somewhere. Like we should use it. Like somebody should jump on that and make that like something. Now I don't know what, but somebody should do that and do something with it because it really gets me hyped, especially on Tuesday, you know. But I'm excited because of our guests today. Like I'm always excited with our guests, especially people that I like that seek out the show and find us. I really get excited about them, you know, which is pretty much everybody. So I'm always excited. So I'm really excited for our guest this evening. So I'm not going to spend, you know, too much time talking about what has transpired over the course of the past couple of days and everything. But I'm excited because, you know, we had Dr. Monica Bickerstaff on the show on Saturday. Her launch was phenomenal at Macy's at the market in Vegas. I don't know if you saw the pictures on social media that I posted, but, you know, she sent me the pictures on Sunday evening. The launch was awesome, so I can't wait for her to come to Atlanta in October because we're going to turn up, guys. We're going to have so much fun with her. So I know it's going to be amazing like it was on Sunday. But just if you haven't had the opportunity to listen to the interview, I've been posting, you know, the link for the interview. Plus, you know, you also, if you text her and let her know, you know, you listen to the show or just mention the show's name, you get 10% off of your purchase of her products. So listen to the show, listen to the nuggets that she dropped as well about stress, depression, anxiety, those sexual tidbits that she dropped as well. But guys, not only was she dropped for me, but just in general for both men and women, again, for the stress, the depression, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, all of that information that she dropped with her natural, you know, products, her beauty and essential oils, all of that information that she dropped. And then the importance of the meditation. And guys, you know how hard it is, you know, for me to focus like more than 5 minutes, right? But I've been doing it. Like I've been listening because she's been on me, like sending me messages like, you know, hey, don't forget your 20 minutes, you know. And I've been doing it. It's been hard, but I've been doing, you know, like the 20 minutes or like 18, 17 minutes of meditation. I've been doing it, and it's really been working. It's only been like 3 days, but it's really been working. I don't know if you really honed in to what she said about number 7. The number 7 for me, right? All I'm going to say is she was dead on, all right, about the number 7. Dead on. And I will elaborate on that on another episode. I will most definitely elaborate on that on another episode, but she was dead on about the number 7. Big things coming. really soon. Big things coming. All right? So make sure that you listen to that episode with Dr. Monica Bickerstaff. She dropped all of her contact information on that episode if you want to purchase a product. Again, 10% off if you mention Endie Fiya and you text her. You got questions about how the essential oils work. You want her to mix up some essential oils for you for, different reasons or different elements or different, illnesses. She got you. Text her. Explain everything to her. You're in the Vegas area. Stop by for the consultation. She'll hook you up, all right? That's Dr. Monica Bickerstaff. She's on Facebook as Dr. Monica Bickerstaff. She's on Instagram as Dr. Monica Bickerstaff Riley, and she's on Twitter as Vegas Holistic, all right? Make sure you check her out, all right? I don't want to talk about her too long because, I'm all excited about everything that she has going on, My guest for this evening, though, I'm super excited, again, super excited, especially, again, when our guests seek us out and we don't have to go and seek them out. And this guest actually sought us out on Fiverr. We're on so many different social media platforms, and she sought us out on Fiverr. And I forgot all about Fiverr. Thank you, Monica. I forgot all about Fiverr. I'm talking about author and blogger Cheryl T Long. She was born and raised in Philadelphia and has always loved writing stories. While in the 5th grade, Cheryl had a teacher who really sparked her interest in writing. He always told her that her storytelling was quite unique for her age. From that moment on, Cheryl had one vision in mind: to give the people around her an imaginative outlet. Always trying to find new avenues to express herself, she has 2 blogs which she uses to reach her ever-growing audience. Now, I've just been informed that these blogs have changed, so I don't want to quote them at this point. She'll give them to you throughout the show. But one of them she uses to reach mothers and daughters. And what she does is she writes love letters to mothers and daughters on various topics. And the other she uses to showcase short stories and daily devotionals. And Cheryl is a mother of 4, like myself, and she enjoys cooking, unlike myself. She is the author of the Cherish series. Cheryl is creating a genre of her own, which she calls melodrama, which she says is a very sticky topic. You can find her works of art now available through Amazon, Ingram Spark, Kobo, Smashwords, Free99book.com, Mega Bookville, and Book Lover, just to name a few. Fiction, however, not the only genre that interests Cheryl. She also writes children's and self-help books. Endie Fiya listening audience, I present to you this evening my very special guest, author and blogger, Miss Cheryl T Long.
Hi, Nakia.
How are you?
I am well this evening. I am very well for 2 Lit Tuesdays. I'm excited.
I'm so proud of myself. Like, I had to tap myself on the back because I'm getting so good at this. Like, before, and I got to explain this on every episode. Like, I would introduce my guests, and then I would applaud them, yay! But I would forget to actually hit the applause button. So now I'm getting so good at this. Like, I'm just, yes, I'm all about it tonight. Yes, I'm on it. Yes, I am so happy to have you here with me this evening. You could have been anywhere, and you are here with me.
Yep, I appreciate you having me on your show.
Thank you for being here. I want to back up just a moment because I do understand that you have changed the name. You've updated the name of your blog site. So I do want to put that out there, and I know that you will update our audience again at the end of the show. But your blog for the love letters to the mothers and the daughters.
Right. So my blog name is www.deardaughterslovemom.com. Actually, what I did was combine both my websites into one. So you can get all of my blog content. You can actually purchase my books and get my devotionals and get my short stories all on one website.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. So www.deardaughterslovemom.com.
Loves with an S, like loves with an S, mom.com.
Daughters with an S, loves with an S, mom.com.
Yes. Yes.
And everything is on the site.
Everything is on one site. Yes.
All right. I got it. So I know that in your bio it states that at the age of 5, your teacher noticed that you
in the
had
fifth grade.
The 5th grade.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Your teacher noticed that you had your writing style was unique.
Mhm.
Did you yourself know that you had a passion for writing?
Stories, yeah. So in the 5th grade, I had a teacher. His name was Mr. Barnes. I hope he's listening. But anyway, in the 5th grade, I had a teacher, Mr. Barnes, who loved my writing and always told me like my stories were over the top, elaborate, and English, of course, and language was my best subject. And I always would write really long stories, but they would be fairy tale type stories, no matter what he asked us to write about. And he would always say, hey, you really have, a gift for writing. I think maybe one day you're probably going to either be a journalist, writer, like you're going to be in that field. You're going to be a good storyteller. And, that kind of always stuck with me as my life, began to unfold. And so, I have journals that I write in all the time. And, that's kind of like where it all began for me.
So when you were a little girl, did you ever think that becoming a writer would be the career path that you would follow?
No, absolutely not. I wanted to actually be a journalist. I knew that I always wanted to talk and be in front of some sort of audience. But my passion, I love photography. I wanted to be a journalist. And in high school, I took up a lot of journalism classes. I actually went to William Penn High School for a little bit, and then I went to George Washington High School because my mother didn't want me in North Philadelphia. So I went to George Washington, and they had a journalism class that I took up there. But, life takes its course, and, you don't always follow what you start out with. But, I did do a turn and came back. I went to I did some college courses in like 2002, and I had a teacher there who introduced me to The Great Gatsby. That was one of my favorite books. And then I read Tumbling by Willis Wheatley, and that was also a good book, and that started to really spark my interest again in writing.
I know that you and I'm gonna be all over the place. I know that you write devotionals.
Mhm.
Do you?
You're saying
You write short stories and daily devotionals, correct?
Yes.
Do you view writing as a kind of a spiritual practice at all?
Oh, of course. Of course I do. Writing is it's like breathing to me. It's such a release. You can write anything down. It's yours. I definitely view it as being spiritual. I write. We suffer from a lot of different things in life. We go through so many different things in life, and writing is one way to, talk to God. If you feel like your voice, you can't speak to God, writing is definitely a way to write things down. I do devotionals because of things that I've gone through in my life that I deal with, that I want to get out there for other people to know how I got through some things, bitterness and brokenheartedness, or like, jealousy, envy, anything. I write them. I write it down, and I do incorporate Bible verses that I like, and because they really work. So I want to put it out there that, by no means am I a perfect person, but I'm striving to be the best version of God that I can be, that I can show my light to shine. So definitely writing is very spiritual to me. It's very dear to my heart. And that's why I believe that at this time in my life that this is my purpose. I have been praying a long time for God to show me my purpose. What is it that I'm supposed to be on earth doing? I have a lot of people always come to me, ask me for advice, or, if somebody's upset, I can kind of talk them down. But I also have a lot of people who have prayed for me, who have been there for me, who have talked me down off the ledge. And, so definitely writing is spiritual for me. Yes.
I told you I would be all over the place. My
Not a problem.
Your typical type of interviews, I have to get in the groove and finally get in a comfortable place in order to actually be able to get in sync, so to speak, with my guest. And I think I got it now. So I'm going to stay right there for just a moment. You mentioned your purpose, and I think that is so important with within this independent community. That is a mission of Endie Fiya, to be able to provide an avenue of an expression for this community, whether it be an artist, whether it be an entrepreneur, a blogger, a writer, and an author, whomever it is within the independent community, to be able to get their brand out to our listening audience, but to also, at the end of the day, have lived our purpose. And if you are not walking in your purpose and fulfilling your mission, what is it that you're doing?
Right.
So you have to have a mission. It is so important that you have a mission, that you have a purpose. And our last guest, we spoke on that, in the onset of your building your brand. Did you have a mission, and did you have a purpose? And you just mentioned that, being able to fulfill your purpose. I think that is so very important. You just can't step out with a brand and say, this is what I want to do, and I hope I'm good at it. You have to have a purpose, and it is, I feel that it is the Creator who instills in each of us a purpose. And when we grasp that purpose and we can walk in that purpose and assist others, I think that's when we ourselves are living truly the way that he wants us to live.
Exactly.
Now I know that you say that you are creating what's called melodrama.
It's called melodrama sticky topics. And what that means to me is, so when I created the Chairs series, and, I created the series, and then I was looking for, I'm on Amazon and Kobo and different places, and I'm looking through the genres. My genre really wasn't anywhere, so I'm like, where in the world do I put my book? Do I put it, it's a fiction book, but it is based on somebody's life. It's not, so I didn't consider it nonfiction because I did put fictitious things in there so people wouldn't be able to point the person out. But it wasn't just fiction. It wasn't like mystery fiction. It wasn't women's fiction. So I had to actually put it under literary fiction. And when I did do that, I did get some backlash from different people that know what literary fiction really is. And they were like, well, your book is not really literary fiction. It's a women's fiction, but it's literary fiction. It's like all over the place. So I said, for the books that I write that are like this are going to be, I want to try to create my own genre, so to say. And it's going to be, because my book is pretty melodrama. It's a really sticky topic. It's a topic that people don't like to hear about, don't like to talk about, but it is a real topic. And, people go through it all the time. So, and then I have another book that's coming out that's actually, I'm going to flash it the same way because it's another topic that people don't really want to talk about. So that's where I get that from. And I'm hoping to, I'm trying to figure out different, and I'm in contact with so many different people trying to figure out how do I create my own drama. Because if you know that there's a drama, there is something called cozy fiction or cozy drama or something like that. That wasn't a real topic, but somebody created it, and now it's called cozy fiction, which is like, Angela Lansbury type stuff. So I'm hoping that, somebody will help and join in with me to really get that kind of a genre in, because your genre, needs to fit, and it doesn't always fit. So that's why I call it what I call it.
So what's the sticky topic?
My sticky topic that I'm talking about is, I'm sorry?
I didn't research good enough, like I said. Because I've had
the sticky topic.
We've discussed a lot of sticky topics on this show. So, what's sticky?
Okay, so the sticky topic is child trafficking. My book is about a young lady who, at the age of 6, her father traffics her, and her mother is there. And it starts off where he's allowing men to, like, fondle her, molest her, so to say, and then it escalates to full-on sex. But my character is a dancer. She loves to dance, and she really has a talent to dance, and that's what kind of gets her through everything. And it's 3 books that are, it goes through the life of this character, starting at the age of 6 and ending at the age of 23, 24 years old. And, so that's the topic. I've had a lot of different views about my book. People are like, oh, my God, this is great. Oh, my God, I couldn't put the book down, to, throughout all the whole series, to people who say, oh, my God, how dare you write something like this? This is horrible.
Really?
But
really,
child trafficking, yeah. They go through sexual abuse. They go through mental abuse, and her and her mother. But you also get to see, like I said, the character go through different things and triumph through some of the things, fail at some of the things. And also you see the abuse of the mother, where the mother mindset comes from, how she allows, her husband to traffic her child. There's other family members that's also involved in trafficking this child, and also where the father comes from, why he actually traffics the child. So, and I think that it was a very good topic, because it was a friend of mine who actually kind of went through this, and I wanted to.
Next question. I am a human trafficking victims advocate. So my question was going to be, where did you obtain your research?
Well, a lot of my research did come from my friend. I was friends with a young lady for a long time, and at the age, I think we were about 15 when she told me that, it was actually her mother's boyfriend, that was molesting her and then having sex with her and then, trying to traffic her. And she wound up running away from home, and I didn't see her for many, many years. I ran back into her, I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. And, I knew her story because I was pretty much the only person that she kind of confided in. Nobody believed her. She did tell, but nobody in her family believed that this was going on. Either they didn't believe it or they just didn't want to face it. And so her only recourse, she felt, was to run away. But when she ran away, she also, came up with some pimps that trafficked her, and she got on drugs. She wound up having like 5 kids, and she couldn't keep any of them. Like, they all were taken away. When I ran into her, she was coming out of recovery and getting her kids back, and her outlook on life was different. So that's where my research came from. She told me a lot of her story, and it really haunted me, because for years I wondered what happened to her. My life was not like that, and to know that somebody I personally knew went through something like that, what could I do? It was my thing. Like, what could I possibly do? So because I really love to write, I started writing her story. And, I couldn't stop writing her story. It haunted me the night before. The next day I woke up, I started writing her story. I had the outline, the character name, everything. And I just kept progressing and telling it. But because I know people people knew that she ran away, and there's people that we both had in common. I didn't want to make it like her story. So I changed some things up in the story, but she knows it's her. And, I did ask her permission first, and she agreed, that I could tell her story. But I told her I would tell it in a way where she would identify with some of the things, but it wouldn't be her. So she was okay with that. And so, the story started to just evolve. And, it was so much in my story that I said, well, I'm going to just do 3 parts to it, because, I had different beta readers, different people read it, and they was like, oh my gosh, this is too much. It's a lot. It's great, but it's a lot. If you have this in one book, then, maybe it's too much for somebody to read. But so that's why I did it 3 easy reads. And that's how I came up with what I came up with. And I like the finished product. Actually, I have a company that wants to pick me up and rebrand my book, so it'll be a second edition, and we are going to put all 3 books together in one. So I'm kind of excited. It is picking up traction. People are really starting to pick it up, read the book, and identify with it and appreciate the book. So, I'm grateful for that.
I would definitely love to present it to my organization, just to get feedback from them on the book. You mentioned,
sure,
and I know this probably wasn't the best word to use, an easy read, because that topic is not even an easy topic to discuss, let alone something easy to read. So 3 parts
Right.
would have been the best way to break that down. And I know that you chose a true life experience and you added on, and I know that you've done additional research to be able to complete a series. But how hard was it for you to know that this is something that occurred to someone that you knew, but then to stay focused and not be distracted with your own emotions and own feelings? Because when I have to go to court, when I have to go to the hospital with a victim, it is very emotionally tolling on me. A lot of, and this is not anything that has ever occurred to me, anything that has ever happened to a family member, a loved one, but it is something that I, as a person who has been charged with the right to serve. Servitude is something that is a purpose that is in place over my life. So, as someone who has to serve, it is very tolling on me to have to sit in the hospital with a victim, or the courthouse with a victim. So, but I can come home and pray about it or meditate on it. But to continuously have to sit and write a book, how do you stay focused and not let it get you distracted and not get you down? And then continue to write the book? How do you do that?
How did I do that? Well, a lot of prayer, and the fact that her story always stuck with me, and then when I ran back into her, it haunted me. It was more or less like you have to write this book. So I truly believe that it was God that was speaking to me, that says that you have to write the book. I'm not going to lie, I did cry at times, even thinking about it and writing some of the stuff. Initially, when I first did my first draft of the book, it was too dark. It was very dark because her story is what I really was telling, but I had to lighten it up because the true story is that her mother and father was doing it to her. But the book, I had to give her some sort of savior, and I made her mother the savior because, my mother is my savior. My father was my savior. So I had to lighten the book up that way. I had to do a lot of praying, soul searching, and even talking to her to just help me continue to write the book. But God also spoke to me and said that this is your debut. This is your book. This is what this is your passion. This is going to be your path. So this is what you're going to write. And it really it didn't take me no time to write these books. It just came out. It flowed. So, it wasn't easy, but it was effortless, I should say. So it was surprising to me as well because, I had to do a lot of editing and a lot of taking this out and taking that out, But again, it was kind of effortless because, I don't know, I want to say the Holy Spirit was just there and working through me and making sure that I get this story out.
And I know that you're trying to do things. You're trying to do things in this series. You're trying to convey her message or her story. You're trying to let her mother be her saving grace, but you're also trying to convey a message also. And I haven't read, I'm sorry, but I haven't read the book yet. But I know that you're also trying to convey the message of the higher power in these books as well. How how hard is that? Just
Well,
in general, when you have
right.
so many people out there. You mentioned that you have people that are naysayers. For one, they don't want to hear what you're reading because you shouldn't. This is something that you shouldn't write about, right? For one, but then you have people also that could possibly be condemning. This is you're not listening. You got to hear the message at the end of the story. You got to get through the story to hear the message that I'm trying to convey in this book. Like, how do you reach people like that?
Well, just I meet them where they are in the book, because in the book, throughout the entire the 3-part series, you see a lot of what she goes through, and she does. You see her evolution through the books. It's only in the second book that I bring in a religious portion of the book, because it's going through the first book, you don't see prayer, you don't see anything. Like, she does similar. She prays a tad bit, but she doesn't really know how, because there was no spirituality in book 1. But in book 2, that's where the prayer comes in. She does say a prayer. She do meet someone that helps her that is sort of religious. So that's where religion comes in. And then in book 3, you see her really elevate to who she really is going to be in life. So religion is not a religious book. It's not a lot of prayer, but there is some in there because, that's my belief. That's what I know, that going through something like this, I would imagine that I would definitely need to know God. So, yeah.
This series here, are these the only books that you've written thus far?
No, oh my goodness, no. About this topic, yes, I have several other books. I did a murder mystery. It's called Sleepless Nights, and it's kind of based on my daughter and 3 of her friends. I have 4 children, so my youngest daughter loves the Korean language, food, everything. So I did a murder mystery based on her when she graduates out of high school, going over to South Korea. So that has it's mystical, and it's a murder mystery. I have a ton of self-help books out. I also have a bunch of children's books out. My same daughter had a cat named Calico, so I did a series on detective. She's a junior detective, so I did kids' books on that. I have a few kids' books out on life-threatening diseases that children go through. I have one on sickle cell. I have one on cerebral palsy. I'm coming out with one on cancer, and I have one on autism as well that's out. I do it, there's picture books. They're for kids, how they triumph through these diseases and, still try to live as normal life as possible. So I know people personally that I've been close with who have children who suffer through these diseases, and these kids are the best. Like, they don't let these diseases get them down. So I wanted to showcase that because I love children, because I have 4. And then I just am fortunate enough to not have had any of my children have life-threatening diseases, but I have a lot of friends who children do. So I wanted to, shine a light on that as well, because, people try to treat children with disabilities sometimes, as different kids. But these kids go swim, they do taekwondo, they ride horses, like they triumph. They do a lot of the things that people don't think that they're capable of doing. So I kind of wanted to showcase that. And then I have, like I said, a lot of self-help books because I believe in giving back. I believe in things that I have been through, journeyed through, what works for me may work for someone else, or you can maybe take a bits or pieces of what I've learned along my 48 years, and hopefully they will, help people. So, my mission in life, and I believe God put this in my spirit, is just to, give back as much as I possibly can. I have a voice, I'm creative with my writing, so why not use it? And why not use it to the glory for other people?
I love that your books incorporate real life experiences that
Mm-hmm.
that impact the stories impact the lives of others. I mean, they showcase, especially those that you talked about, um, showcase the different illnesses or diseases that these
Mm-hmm.
children experience. We had an author on the show earlier this month who she is an avid pet lover, and she has a pet series, and it teaches like self care, how to take care of your pets, and um, and I was just like floored how because I'm not a pet lover at all, but it teaches you like the responsibility. Teaches children how to take care of their pets, and if your pet's ever ill, what you're supposed to do, like pet CPR and pet first aid. But it teaches like children the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility of taking care of pets, and this series just goes through all of that. And even children have illnesses and diseases, who may not, would have ever thought they were able to own a pet. She goes in and she teaches these children, like the pet, how to, like service animals, how to be able to take care of their owners, and like does the same type of thing. And her book series goes through like the same process, and I just thought it was, just really something that I would have never thought, to be able to do. But you're doing the same thing. You're showing these children as superheroes, with their illnesses through these books that you've written for them and for other people to be able to read. Because again, people do think that children who have illnesses or diseases, if they put them in this category, like they're not able to play sports, or they're not able to participate in activities because they have a disability, and they have just place this, put them in this category, like you can't do this, and you have given them this outlet to show that you are just as mighty as the rest of us, and that's phenomenal. That's kudos. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
What exactly, you mentioned being that voice. So what do you do? What does your brand do in your community? Besides, these books, what else are you doing in the community?
Well, I'm actually starting to create some courses because I have a ton of people reaching out to me about I have a YouTube channel that's fairly new, that I do a lot of YouTube videos. Like I'll write some stuff and about motivational things, about bitterness, about maybe self-love, or how to deal with the silent treatment, how to deal with, how to meditate, different things that like I said, along the journey. So I have a ton of people starting to reach out to me now about how do I want to buy into this. Like I want to do, I want to learn. So I'm working with someone right now to try to create some courses that I can offer through my website, for people to, learn how to do some things that I've learned how to do. Lisa Nichols is actually one of my people that I listen to a lot. I love her motivational, transformational speaking. So, I'm trying to work with that, go that route, and learn how to help other people with these courses. So I'm going to create some courses that'll be available on my website for people to be able to download, and different videos to look at, and different affirmations to say to themselves, because what I have experienced, and I'm coming across so many different people, women especially, is that we don't love ourselves the way that we should. And when we don't love ourselves the way that we should, other people are not going to love us. And we go around with this despair and hurt all the time, and not tapping into our higher power to just, hone in on ourselves, that we are important, that we're not just caregivers. We got to give the care to us. We got to love us. We got to honor us. And that is what I am learning. And so people are really starting to really reach out to me to say, hey, I want to learn that. How do we do this? So I'm creating some courses for that right now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I know there's probably somebody sitting listening right now, some female, sucking her teeth, thinking, that there's somebody else doing that over there, and there is. But the problem is there's not enough somebodies that are doing it.
Right.
Or there's somebody else that's sitting with the same mentality that you are. I had, and I'm going to get on soup for just a moment. I had this discussion with my mother, who just got back from Nicaragua on Sunday afternoon. We had this crazy experience in church on Sunday, and people go to church, and they go for various different reasons. But you shouldn't go to church and come out of church the same way you went in. All right, so if you walk in church and you had a feeling you were stressed out, you were depressed when you walked to church, you should not come out of church the same way you went in. But some things you need to leave on the altar. All right? And so I felt the need, I felt very compelled to just stand up in church and say on Sunday, like I've been bogged down with so much that I'm not going to leave the same way that I came in here today. And I know I'm not the only one that feels this way. And if I'm out of order today, forgive me. And if I got to start pulling people up to this altar, so be it. But I feel like there's so many of us that sit and we listen to the word and we adhere to it, but we're not fully walking in what we're hearing. And we're allowing this spirit of depression to just keep us bogged down. And a lot of it is because of generational curses. And women, we're the ones that are, I feel like we're the ones that are being put in to the curses. And I started grabbing women and bringing them to the altar. And, in the church, especially in my church, people don't want to hear about mental illness and depression, and they want you to pray your way through, and there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with praying your way through, all right? But sometimes, you need to talk to other people that are going through what you're going through. And so I felt like, if you're not going through it and if you've never gone through it, then maybe you don't understand what people who are going through it are feeling, all right? And so after church, just women, we just sat down and we just released. I mean, it was crazy. It was something that people in the ministers have been preaching about, bringing it to the altar for the longest. But it wasn't until somebody had to speak up and say, hey, this is what we're all feeling it. We're all going through it. And so I think that what you're wanting to do is amazing. Somebody has to step out and say, hey, this is what we need. If we continue to keep ourselves bogged down, if we continue to say, hey, if we don't speak the positivity over our own lives, we don't show the love for our own selves, then if we can't care for our own selves and take care of our own selves, then we can't take care of those who are depending and relying on us.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what you're doing
Right.
is amazing. And it doesn't matter that the next woman is doing it or the next woman is doing it. There's not enough people that are doing it. There has
Right.
to be a multitude that continue to do it so that we can break the curses. If everyone were doing it and doing it correctly, then we would not have so many people still suffering mental illness and so many suffering with, depression and so many people committing suicide.
Right.
So I think what you're doing is amazing. And there's always going to be naysayers.
Thank you. Of course. Well, I think that the first thing, though, we have to surrender. And that's it. That is it. That is it. People don't want to surrender. And I even, for a long time, I didn't want to surrender. I'm like, God, I know you're there. I know you're doing your thing, and you're going to just help me make this work. But until I surrendered, and even here lately, until I surrendered, you know what I mean? God just said, okay, you want to do your will? Do your will.
I'm gonna let
when you're ready to surrender, I'll be here. And when I fully surrendered and allowed God to just do what He needed to do, that's when people get the turnaround. Now, I have a daughter, my oldest daughter, that do suffer from some mental illness, and at times she just really drives me crazy. But at times I just have to remember that everybody is I don't deal with the mental illness. I have dealt with different types of depression, but I don't deal with the severity of what she's going through. But I'm there for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can identify with her. I can understand what she's going through. I can talk with my daughter about what it is, that her some of her decisions that she makes. And people, mental illness is real. It's also a spirit, but it is real, and people do not want to identify with it because they look at it like, oh, my God, something is wrong with me. The things, how I got through to my daughter, I said to her, if you were a diabetic and your doctor told you needed to take whatever the medication so your diabetes wouldn't be out of control, would you take it? And she said, yes, Mom. I said, so look at it as the same way. For right now, what you need to do is take the medication so you can be able to focus. My daughter that dealt with schizophrenia is in school now going through getting her master's degree in mental health. She got her associate, her bachelor's. So I say that to say to people that are listening that may be going through mental illness or going through sexual violence or just feeling very, very trapped, you can do it. You can do it. You just got to tap into that higher power. You got to tap into that belief system, and you got to tap into yourself. Like God puts us here for a reason, and all of us have a purpose here. And, just by the grace of God, I have found mine, but it took 48 years. I say that to say, it's never too late. It's never too late.
Right.
You never know what God has in store for you. And I have just taken what God has instilled in me, and I'm taking it by the bull's horn, and I am running with it. I'm letting nothing and nobody stop me. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and I think I know the answer. But to what do you attribute your success?
Oh my goodness. Well, first and foremost, God, for sure. But I have my father just passed in March. He was a big force in my life. My mother is a big force in my life. My children are a big force in my life. I have two grandmothers. They were a big force. Like I come from a very large family. My family is a big force in my life. And I've had so many people, along the way that really did believe in me. Um, so, I've had a lot of support that came my way. I've had someone, his name is Brian Johnson, very special to me, that really believed in me and, brought me my computer, brought me my Dragon Naturally Speaking, helped fund me when I really decided to get my books going and whatever I needed. If I needed an editor or whatever, he helped me along the way. So I have been very, very, very fortunate with people that really believe in what I'm doing, believe in my voice, believe in that I can make a difference. So, God has worked through them. I believe that with wholeheartedly, so that, I can get what I need to say out so that I can keep going. And I just have like the highest hopes for what God has in store for me through my writing for people. So that's been, my course. That's who's helped me. Those have been my inspirations to keep going with this. And I first debuted my books in November of 2018. I'm coming up on a full year soon, and I just know that God is just going to continue to, bless me and bless people through my books. I'm hoping that, people really get to know me and know that, I'm serious about my business and that they get enjoyment out of my book, that they can laugh, they can cry, they can, triumph through my writing. And that my writing is a outlet, because writing is an outlet. Writing is so therapeutic. I encourage everybody to write. I really do, because you can write a letter to somebody that you're angry with and never send it to them, but you can write it, get what you need to say out, because sometimes, when you're angry with somebody, they're angry with you, they don't give you a chance to say what you need to say to them. But if you write it out, those words are there. You can send it or not. You could tear it up, throw it, or whatever, but you get it out. That is the most important thing. Get it out. So I tell everybody, write.
Love it. Love it. What is the last thing that you learned?
Say that again? I'm sorry.
What is the last thing that you learned?
About what?
In general, what is the last thing that someone was able to teach you?
Okay. Nothing is certain. Nothing is certain. So, I mean, nothing is certain in this life. The only thing that is certain is your belief, what you believe, what your belief system is. Yeah, that nothing is certain, that the only thing that you can believe in, that you can hold on to is your belief. And then my belief is in God, the higher power, and that is what the last thing that somebody showed me and told me. And, that everybody has a right to their perspective in life. My perspective in life is through rose-colored glasses, as I've been told. And what that means to me and what that means to someone else is different. I like to believe the best in people. I like to believe that people are going to show their best, that they can be their best. They don't always do it, but that's my belief. Other people believe that, you shouldn't look through rose-colored glasses because things are black and white. I don't believe that, because God has shown me so much in these years that I know that even though I look through rose-colored glasses, and I try to see the best in people, and I believe the best in people, and sometimes I'm let down. I still believe. I still believe. So I'm okay with that.
And what is the last thing that you have taught someone?
That I truly do love them. That I truly do love them. That my love is unconditional. That at the end of the day, nobody is perfect. That we all make mistakes. That we all do things that are not good, but they are not intentional. And that, God has really shown me unconditional love so I can show somebody else unconditional love. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be somebody's doormat or anything like that, but it does mean that at the heart of it, I still love you. I still love people. Like I don't have any enemies. I'm no one's enemy. They might be mine, but I am no one's enemy. So that's the last thing I think I taught someone, that regardless of, what has transpired, what we go through, I still love you. Because I am a child of God, and that's what God has taught me, to love everyone. And I really do. So I don't have anyone that I hate.
Now, I don't know how you're going to twist this one. But you're an author. So let's make it happen. Someone is listening to the show right now, and they are a brand new writer. And they've listened, and they say, you know what? I've absorbed everything Miss Cheryl has said, and I'm ready to go ahead and get this first book published. But I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit leery. I need just a little bit more advice. What piece of advice would you offer to this new artist, to this new writer? From the last thing that you learned and the last thing that you taught, combine those two to offer this new writer your best piece of advice.
Just do it. I procrastinated my craft for 22 years. 22 years. Just do it. Get your Dragon, get your computer. Dragon helped me because you can actually just speak into it, and it'll write whatever you say. If you are a typer, type it. Just do it. There is no wrong in what you write. It's your words. It's your vision. It's yours. So just do it, write it. Now, I started off first with self-publishing. It's one of the easiest things you can do. Because know your genre, know your audience. That's another thing I would tell them, because I really didn't know my audience. I just wrote from a story that was from my heart. But then after I wrote it, I had to think about, who am I trying to sell this book to? Everybody don't want, and I learned, everybody don't want to hear this topic, but I'm still going to put it out there because it's my work that, I want to go out there. So I would say, you don't have to stick with one genre, because I didn't. I would tell them to, whatever comes to your heart, you write it down, you draft it out, get your outlines, get people to beta read it, because beta readers are like awesome. They will tell you the truth, even though it hurts sometimes, but they will tell you what you need to put. This beta readers are readers who are readers that say, hey, listen, these are the books that I would buy. These are the books that I wouldn't buy. So have yourself a team of beta readers. I would also tell them that, once they have a finished product, with their book cover and everything, do a pre-sale. Pre-sell your book, have an ARC. I didn't know these things coming through. An ARC is a bunch of people who will go out and is going to help you promote your books. They're going to read your books. They're going to give you advice. You're going to get your editing together, and then they're going to send it out to other people to also help promote your book to other people and other people and other people. I didn't know that starting off. I just figured, okay, I'll write a book. I'll put it on Amazon. I have social media. It's going to sell, but that's not how it works. You need to, get the hype up about your book. You got to have all your social media in line. Right now I have help now. I have social media managers who help me manage my social media, who give me a good advice about this is how you reach this audience, this is how you reach that. But I didn't know all of these things. I just winged it, And then I had people come back afterwards and was like, well, you don't have a social media manager? You don't do this? You don't have Twitter? You don't have this? I'm like, what is Twitter? Like, I didn't, So now I would tell them to, do research. Research keywords are important when you are starting out, and start a blog. Blogging is essential to authors because people get to know you prior to when your stuff come out. If you can blog, if you can get readers engaged in you prior to, then you have a better chance on, notoriety, getting your stuff out there and them telling more people. If they know that who you are, what you stand for is already out there, and then also while you're writing your book, share chapters. Share chapters of your book. Share your characters. Say, hey, I'm thinking about naming my character this. Whatever your genre is, you should share it on your blog, with your people, and then when you go to launch your book, you're already going to have book sales just like that. These are things I didn't know that I learned after the fact. So with book one, I had my book launching, and I had it, had a nice turnout. But with book two, I was a little bit better prepared. With book three, I was more prepared. With the other books, more prepared. And now I'm actually doing a turnabout because it's almost a year. Like I told you in the beginning, I have a company that's interested in a traditional company that's interested in publishing my book. So I'm ready to rebrand my book, turn my 3 books into one, and go from there. So that's my advice to new authors starting, because I had no one to advise me. I had to learn.
That was awesome advice. Probably the best advice I have heard. She didn't hold back on anything, and that was amazing. A lot of people want to give you tidbits of information because they're so scared. Maybe you're gonna elevate a little higher. She didn't hold back on anything. She gave you what you needed, because somebody gave it to her. Thank you for that information. Because there's just all it is. There's enough for everybody, and I feel in every aspect of each independent realm, there's enough for everyone, and so that's what it's all about: helping each individual get to the level it is that they're trying to attain. Thank you so much for all of that information that you just got, for that new author that's out there aspiring to get to the next level. Thank you so much for that information. I do want to go ahead and open the floor up for you now to go ahead and get all of your contact information out for those who may be listening live now, or for those who may come back and listen to one of the many playback shows, for however they want to reach out to you and get in contact with you. The floor is now yours to go ahead and get all of your contact information up.
Thank you. So first and foremost, my one blog now is www.deardaughtersloveswithanS.mom.com, where you can find all of my blog information, all of my articles that I post. My books are on sale there. My books are also on sale on Amazon, Kobo, Smashbooks, and everything else that she mentioned. I have a YouTube channel that's fairly new. I have a few, actually, maybe 14 new videos up now. Most of them are self-help, and that is Love Letters to My Daughters is my YouTube name. I have Twitter. My Twitter account is CLS 60788. So you can reach me there as well. My Facebook page is called CherylTLong.com, authors page, so you can find me there as well. And then my Instagram is 570 Flowers Bloom. You can find me there. You can find information about me there as well. I will be starting, like I said, on my blog, some self-help courses because I really do believe in giving back and helping everyone achieve to be the best person that they can be. And my email address is TERRELLIALLIAM@gmail.com. And I'm going to have a newsletter starting up very, very soon. So you can reach me there as well. So, there's so much out here, so much in my social media out here. You can contact me. I am available to do more podcasts as well. So I'm looking forward to what the Lord has in store for me coming up soon.
Awesome. What's the YouTube again?
My YouTube is called Love Letters to My Daughters.
All right, letters with an S and daughters with an S?
Yes.
All right. So we will look for that so we can subscribe. Thank you again for joining us this evening. Again, you could have been anywhere, but you took the time to be here with us this evening. Make sure that you're following the show on all social media platforms. That's Endie Fiya, ENDIEFIYA. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms. That's A Girl in Motion, GRLNMOTION. The August calendar is completely booked, so if you cannot make all shows, make sure that you're not missing all shows. New show time starts, we started in August, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure that you're tuning in right here on this coming Thursday. Mogul Music Entertainment hip-hop artist Too Unique will be here, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then back here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's for the East Coast. Then for the West Coast, that will be 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There we go. With speaker and writer and transformation coach, there we go, Ebony Thompson will join us on Tuesday the 13th, again at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No show on next Thursday, the 13th, as I prepare to take my only daughter away to college. Guys, keep me in your thoughts and prayers. My son does leave for Fort Bliss on next Monday as he does prepare for training as he deploys to Kuwait in October. And again, my daughter does leave for college on next Thursday. So got two leaving me next week, and I'll be here with two. So it's going to be a very emotional week next week. Yeah, very emotional week next week for me. So keep me in your thoughts and prayers. And Cheryl, it's a pleasure having you here with us this evening. Again, your family, once you're on the show, you're always welcome back to the show. If there's anything we can do for you as far as promotional status is concerned, please do not hesitate to reach out to Monica, and we will be more than glad to get promotions out for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So very welcome. Until 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday, you all have a good night.
Good night.